Hello everyone, this is me screwing up. This is Sphero, and this should be episode number... Oh wait, I'm not doing episodes. Derp. Well, this is me really failing hardcore today, apparently. Anyways, this is a loading screen. Okay. Now that that's all working right, this is the thermal expansion, or this is my starting guide, Feed the Beast for thermal expansion. Feed the Beast, for those who don't know, is a mod pack I'd say like Tekkit, with a key difference in that it's totally legal. What I mean by that is, take Optifine for example. Optifine's creator has given no permission for anyone to use it in any pack. If you want it, you are supposed to download it yourself and use it yourself and give him credit. Tekkit has been told to stop. There have been requests, there have been told. I believe there was even legal action that never got anywhere, and it is still in it. That is outright theft, therefore Tekkit is not legal. Well, technically. Anyways, this is not about that, this is about Feed the Beast. Feed the Beast has full support of all the mod coders that have the mod in it. It's also well done in that the Forge guys have worked hard with their dictionary and everything else and made it so that all the mod machines do not collide, as it were. They all work together very well. So without further ado, in Feed the Beast, there are three main pathways you can do to increase ore production and get started with everything else. Thermal expansion is, in my opinion, the best one. It is cheaper than doing IC2. This is without Greg Tech too. With Greg Tech, there's no contest. But it's cheaper than IC2. It allows easy automation, and quite frankly, with how power and all the different gadgets in it work, thermal expansion could totally stand alone. So, the first machine that you will want to make in thermal expansion is the pulverizer. Pulverizer is what lets you double your ores. It's a piston, flint, copper, a redstone reception coil, and a machine frame. The machine frame is going to be one of your most made items, but it's very simple. It's 4 iron, 4 glass, and a piece of gold. The coil is also just a bit of gold and 2 redstone. Very cheap, huh? These machines all run, any of the machines that actually take power. So for instance, this is an igneous extruder which does not take power, but anyone that does can accept Buildcraft power from any of the power pipes from an engine directly connected or through these energy conduits. Conduits are also thermal expansion, and also being directly connected to this, which is an energy cell. The conduits are an amazing addition to Minecraft Joules, which is the engine style power. Basically, each of these conduits, in the update, there's a direction they can flow, so you can set it to accept from any, which I think is what these are, or only draw or only insert. They have an internal storage and do not explode, unlike pipes, along with these cells. They will keep the energy in them, the energy amount in them when you pick them up. And as you can see, you can set their max input and their maximum output, and they store that 600,000 Minecraft joules. Quite simply, with this, it removes the one weakness of Minecraft joules, and with how all mods work together in Feed the Beast, this is a power source to go to. So, as you can tell, I really like this mod. In my opinion, it's the third best in Feed the Beast, behind Red Power and Portal Gun. Anyways, enough about that. That's a powered furnace, not a pulverizer. Pulverizer will pulverize whatever's put in here for Minecraft joules, and it is a lot cheaper. A piece of coal put into any engine that's better than Stirling or electric, so basically any engine that is not terrible. My preference would be the hobbyist steam engine from Railcraft, these steam engines, which are the thermal expansion ones, or possibly, oh, I forgot the name of the last one that can use coal. Not Stirling, because Stirling is terrible, but basically anything that generates more than one Minecraft joule a tick will allow a pulverizer to do more actions per item, or more actions per power, per coal spent, than anything else, or than any other machine. Which means it totally just embarrasses the macerator or the grinder or anything like that. As you can see, the pulverizer has slots out here. These are output slots because it will double what you get, so one dust will go in each of these, which is a nice thing, I think. And it has these for secondary. Secondaries are things like gravel, I think, from cobblestone. Wait, we can look that up. Maybe. Let's see. And yes, you can get gravel from cobblestone, and more importantly, from ores, you can get gold from copper, you can get iron from tin. I'm not sure what you get from gold, and I don't remember what you get from iron, but basically it allows you to get more output from it than anything else. It's not the triple that factorization is, but it is far better than the double from Industrial Craft for far cheaper, making it pretty much better all around. Now this is the Induction smelter. The Induction smelter is an interesting item. It takes sand in here, which is why I have this set up here. Yellow for gravel to go into this chest. The red is connected to the pulverizer, to the induction furnace to put sand into it, and then everything else. The blue is the input, which is in the igneous extruder, which fills with cobble. If you can, from this thing right here, this menu, you can actually totally configure which output goes where, except for the front. So it's a really cool mechanic that I can't say enough good things about it. You will notice that these are Buildcraft pipes. This is because the thermal expansion machines will not connect with red power tubes. I think they should in a later update, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. So if you want to automate it, you will have to use Buildcraft. Or if you want full automation, you have to use Buildcraft. If you don't mind, you can just place a chest at the output and it will automatically put into the chest. But, pipes and tubes and all that. Buffer or relay should work, but I haven't tried that, and that's not the point of this. Anyways, the induction smelter, if it has sand in here, or slag, or rich slag, it will then double ore. It does not work on, so it's sand in here will give you all the time, and give you potentially rich slag. Rich slag will actually work with pulverized items, and that will also double it and can give you slag. You can also use this to make nether brick with netherrack and soul sand, and is how you make hardened glass from lead and pulverized obsidian. Let's see, more lead. Here we go. So yes, as you can see, for the cost of sand, which is free with the setup I showed you, it will also double what you get, along with potentially triple if you get some rich slag. Now, if you don't have access to sand for some reason, you could also use the powered furnace, which is basically just an electric furnace. It does work with the dust, unlike the induction furnace, or the induction smelter. So you have to choose between either of those. You will want both eventually for the hardened glass, but otherwise I would just use this because it's less machines in general. Now the third machine, aside from the third or second machine, depending on if you went induction smelter or pulverizer and powered furnace, is this. This is a sawmill. This is a really cool item. The sawmill will, from logs, let you get 6 planks instead of 4, and every 6 items, I believe, can give you sawdust. Sawdust can be cooked for charcoal or used as fuel as is, and it's an interesting little side thing. But the important one is that it lets you deconstruct items. So if I were to turn it to day, but if I were to take a note block and stick it in there and give this power. Interesting thing about these about the engines. These engines will be active without a redstone, so you have to turn on redstone to turn off the engines. So anyways, once these are generating enough power, I'll show that. So in the meantime, I'll show off power. Thermal expansion, or no, I won't show off power, I'll show off more machines. So let's see, this right here, this is another pulverizer. Why do I have another pulverizer? Okay, oh wait, there we go. Yeah, you get sawdust from this. Oh, from any. Okay, yeah, sawdust acts as charcoal, so basically it lets you get the most out of your wood. So a note block will get you a piece of redstone and wood. Beds get you wood and the wool. Bookcases let you get all the books and the shelf. You can deconstruct planks or chests. You can construct crafting tables, which is handy if you include the packager from factorization. You only get 2 planks from signs, unfortunately. But yeah, so you can get the diamond back from any jukebox made by mistake. Fence gates will get you a full thing of sawdust because it's the equivalent. You can deconstruct wood tools of any durability. So finally, another use for any almost dead wood tools from the start. And and it lets you finally use the rubber wood from red power, which normally you can only craft into sticks, and it lets you turn them into jungle wood. So, yeah, an interesting item, really useful for getting the most out of your wood, and has some cool mechanics, but otherwise, I would recommend it third to get the most out of your planks and to get the free charcoal, but it is not needed. Okay, and as you can see, it will all output into there. Okay. Now to make all those machines, if you're using Feed the Beast, then you have an on-off item, which lets you totally look up everything. But if you don't care, Sawmill is actually more expensive. It's machine frame, the redstone reception coil, 2 planks, 2 copper, and an iron axe. Let's see, I showed the pulverizer. A powered furnace is redstone. Those are actual bricks made from cooking clay and then crafting the bricks, the clay brick into bricks. Copper and again redstone reception coil, machine frame. The induction smelter is bucket, sand, machine frame, and coil, and copper. And now the igneous extruder, which was the cobble maker, is a piston, 2 glass, machine frame, pneumatic servo, and tin. Pneumatic servo is actually really simple, and would be even simpler if I was at the right table. The pneumatic servo is apparently lost. Okay. The pneumatic servo is just 2 iron, redstone, and glass. So simple items to make, really cheap, but amazing for their uses. Now, the more interesting parts is this. Okay, first off, this is a visual bug. Red Power's fluid pipes do work quite well. Anyways, a liquid transposer. The liquid transposer lets you either fill liquids straight from, so any liquid dyes in capsules or something, like what's shown here. So let's see, biogas. So yes, this is actual dye. This is blue dye, added by Zycraft, I believe, that can be filled with capsules. You can empty those, see it's connected, in a liquid transposer or fill the capsule back up and then put them into tanks or whatever. People or fans of industrial craft will note that this will let you get your empty tin cells back from collecting lava for a geothermal generator. So handy item. So see, if you see here, this has empty cells and set to fill. This has nothing and is set to empty. And I have a pipe underneath so that the empty cells will be output back into this. This here is a Magma crucible. This is a really cool item. For 8,000 Minecraft joules, which sounds like a lot, but it isn't because of how Minecraft joules work. It lets you turn netherrack into lava. It also does work for cobble, obsidian, and smoothstone, but it is not energy efficient. You do not make more Minecraft joules than what is spent on anything other than netherrack. You can also get water from snow, of both kinds, from ice, and most importantly, you get molten redstone. Molten redstone is how you make these energy cells and energy conduits. Let's see. In order to make that, you need either this for the conduit, which is 2 electrum. It's not gold, it's electrum, and hardened glass. The frame is also a diamond, 4 hardened glass, and 4 electrum. Those both get you the empty frames. Electrum is just pulverized silver and pulverized gold, so it's a fairly cheap item. But anyways, frames you get empty. In order to fill them, you have to cook down redstone in the magma crucible and then fill them using the liquid transposer. Once doing that, they become their own item and will never revert back. But it's a cool way to craft something. So as I have shown here, or as I have set up here, this magma crucible will burn redstone, this liquid transposer will fill the energy cell frame and then eventually dump it into this. See, here's an energy conduit as well. Now, there are a few other items. For instance, first off, power. There are 2 engines added by thermal expansion. These will not explode unless you try to force them to keep going after they've shut down. If they ever get too hot from not being cooled or something, these will just stop. If you wait for them to cool and then hit them with the crescent hammer or any Buildcraft wrench, then they'll restart just fine. These burn anything burnable in a furnace, and unfortunately that's not a good example of its power. They will output at a max at, I believe, 2 to 4 Minecraft joules. They do require water, but that's easy with this item right here, which is the aqueous accumulator. The accumulator acts as an infinite water source with a pump. It takes no power and automatically outputs, and I've shown the recipe. So if you ever have anything that needs water, I would recommend using this first. Anyways, those thermal expansion steam engines are my preferred method of beginning power. And they are made, steam engines right here. Okay, like so. That's 2 copper gears right here, a piston, a redstone transmission coil, which is in the other thing, okay, and 3 copper. So, good, nice, cheap, balanced beginning item. Let's see, the transmission coil is just a silver ingot and 2 redstone. Cheap. Anyways, there's also this right here. These are cool little items. These are magmatic engines. These, like Magma suggests, will output power based off and burn lava. You can pump lava directly in, say from a magma crucible, but the problem is a magma lava off cobble will not generate more power than what it takes to make the lava. You have to use netherrack in order to make that kind of loop, but otherwise these are really, really cool. So these are the engines to upgrade to for power if you ever need to. If you're tired of spending your resources on anything, if you say use, let's go with a Buildcraft pump to bring lava up and pump it into there. It will generate more power than what it takes to pump, but yeah, basically if you want to keep it powered off lava using only thermal expansion, you have to use netherrack, which since it's dirt, basically dirt in the nether, it's not that big a deal. They are made with something right here. See, it's 3 tin, a piston, a redstone transmission coil, and tin gears. So they are very, very close to the electric engine, but much better because the electric engine is terrible. Basically, if you power a geothermal generator, use that for an electric engine, it will make less power than just the magmatic engine producing. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's everything. Oh, there is one more item in this that is kind of interesting. The glacial precipitator. That is copper, piston, a redstone reception coil, a machine frame, and snow. This lets you make snowballs, ice, or snow blocks. It has some use, as shown by this last tank right here. This is an interesting item added by something, I'm not sure which mod, called crushed ice. It acts as a liquid for some reason with liquid pipes and can be put into cells. What it is an incredible way to cool down any engine that takes water. Otherwise, it does not have really any use right now. I'm sure there will be something else added, but for now, not really. And I think that's everything from thermal expansion. It's a really cool mod, and honestly, the best way to get started and feed the beast. It's easy, it's cheap, it just lasts and keeps building, and even if you go into industrial craft for the end game items, thermal expansion powering it with lava is actually better. Well, not better because I mean nuclear energy, but supportive. And I'm going on now. So, before I start rambling again, bye.